Chair, I have an article here from CBC wherein the Minister of Immigration asked the federal government to fully eliminate the cap on new immigrants, no limit. Does she still believe that there should be no limits on how many people enter Canada?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and thank you for taking my first question today and estimates from that member. So I've been the minister for a total of about 3 weeks already, and I don't recall saying statements like that. Thank you.
Well, again, I have the CBC article right here. She asked for a full removal of caps on immigrants. Would she agree that the amount of people coming into Canada must be immediately and massively reduced? Massively reduced.
The Honourable Minister.
So, Mr. Chair, again, we are managing our targets. We have committed to reduce both our permanent residents and our temporary allocations. We have at 2025, 27 levels.
Well, member.
But she hasn't. The government is letting in hundreds of thousands of foreign students, temporary foreign workers. Why is she persisting in letting in hundreds of thousands of people when Canada is in the middle of a healthcare crisis?
Minister.
Speaker, we are working towards sustainable immigration by reducing our temporary resident numbers as well as our permanent residents. We have tabled the 2-year levels plan, and it is there for the
member.
But that's baloney. All the statistics show that they've actually increased those numbers. And meanwhile, Canadians can't get into an emergency room. Why are they persisting in bringing in hundreds of thousands of students and temporary foreign workers on temporary visas when people can't find jobs?
Minister.
Be completely, let's use the facts here. Her numbers are totally inaccurate. There's been 290,000 net new arrivals into Canada through the International Student Program. I don't know where she comes up with numbers. I would contextualize the numbers that she seems to read.
That's it for you, Mr. Chair. The reality is that there were way less than 290,000 housing starts last year, and there's a lot more than 290,000 people waiting for family doctors right now. Why is she persisting in raising immigration levels when people can't find a doctor or a job?
Yeah, Minister.
So, Mr. Chair, again, I would say we are working on sustainable immigration. We have committed to reduce the temporary numbers as well as our permanent residency numbers. Canada.
Okay, let's go a different way. The same report predicted a net decrease of non-permanent residents of about 450,000 people. Are you on track to achieve this number for 2024?
Yeah, Minister.
We know for the first quarter, we have reduced our numbers at well below the targeted rate.
That's right.
Yeah, member.
In fact, Stats Canada currently shows just over 3 million non-permanent residents in Canada as of March 31st. That's a 10% increase over 2024. What is the government's target for 2025?
Yeah, Minister.
All the numbers have been tabled in terms of our targets. We are exceeding those targets for the first quarter of 2025.
I'm a member.
I beg to differ with the minister. I don't think she understands the question. There are 3 million people, non-permanent residents in Canada right now. What was the target for 2025?
The Honourable Minister.
Chair, we have begun to the decline for the first quarter of 2025 to 7.2%.
The Honourable Member.
So the number is 7.2%, thank you. And what was the target percentage for this year, Minister?
The Honourable Minister.
Again, Chair, we have met and exceeded the target for the first quarter of 2025.
Honourable Member.
Well, you have exceeded the number because according to Stats Can, we have over 3 million people. Your target was 2.5 million people. How are you going to achieve a 500,000 reduction in the balance of this year?
Questions to the Chair, the Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Our 2027 target is 5% of Canada's population. We are working.
The Honourable Member.
So the October annual report estimated the total Canadian population for 2025. Can the minister tell me if that number was higher or lower than 2024?
The Honourable Minister.
Is the member asking me what Canada's population number is of people that live in Canada?
Member. The Honourable Minister.
Well, I mean, it's we know what it's in 40-some million people. I don't have the exact number.
The honourable member.
Yes, I'll help the minister. It was published in your report last fall, and it got a lot of coverage because it implied that the population of Canada was going to decrease. So the question is, are we on track to achieve that reduction in population?
Minister.
So we are on track to meet the target that we have set for our immigration number, and that is to reduce the overall number of permanent and temporary residents into this country.
The honourable member.
Just to help the minister, according to the Stats Canada, we're at 41.7 million right now. That's 200,000 more than the end of last year and 500,000 more than your plan. What are you doing to make sure that you achieve your plan for this year?
Honourable Minister.
Listen, it's a known fact that if we don't have immigration to this country, we cannot fill our labor gaps. That's right. Immigration is what drives this economy. It's the people that are coming.
The honourable member.
So you're actually increasing the population, is that what you're saying?
The honourable Minister.
Sure, what I have said is 2025, 27 targets have been set, have been labeled.
The honourable member.
Minister, would you ever alter reports to remove data?
Minister.
Sorry, say that again. I didn't hear you.
The
Never alter reports to remove data.
Well, Minister, I am the minister, so I don't believe I alter reports or do. That is not my job.
Order. The time has expired for that section. L'honorable député de Côte-du-Sud, Rivière-du-Loup, Katasquamick-Témiscouata.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Minister, do you think we need to reduce immigration levels in Canada, and if so, quickly? If so, by how much? Please give me a number. The Minister. Thank you for that important question. Yes, it's an important question, and we are working together with officials to bring the numbers down. Yes, the honourable member. The numbers? The Minister, the numbers are already there. I've talked about it. I also spoke with my colleague, the honourable member. If the numbers are public, Madam Minister, what are they? The Minister. It's 5% of the population for 2027. The honourable member. Earlier, when we talked about the Canadian population, we weren't able to answer. So you're going to reduce 5% based on what number? The honourable minister. Thank you, Mr. Chair. 5% of the population of Canada by 2027. The member. Hundreds of thousands of people came in this year, whereas millions of Canadians don't have access to a family doctor. Why? The honourable minister. That's a question for the Minister of Health. But what I can tell you is that we're looking for doctors and nurses to help us. The member. It's funny how you're not able to answer our questions. You refer your answers to other departments. In any case, there's a lack of housing in Canada. Some people are sleeping in their cars and can't pay their rent. If you keep increasing immigration, and you keep increasing immigration levels, why? The honourable minister. Once again, I will say that it's not immigrants' fault that we have an economic crisis. We are working on this side to cut down on the number of temporary and permanent residents because we know we have a crisis. The honourable member. Unemployment's going up all over Canada. We've got about 100,000 job losses announced by the fall of this year by certain experts. And you're increasing immigration. Why do you insist on plunging newcomers into unemployment? The honourable minister. Thank you. Not at all. That's not the goal. Absolutely not. Questions must be addressed to the chair. The honourable member. So you're not answering my question. Some economists are predicting a recession by the fall, with a potential loss of 100,000 jobs impacting Ontario and Quebec. And so why are you increasing immigration levels? The honourable minister. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. We're working very hard to manage immigration. From now until 2027, we published all the numbers, And we will cut down on the number of temporary and permanent immigrants. The member, what is the amount you're talking about? The minister. Inaudible. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We're reducing numbers for students, for workers. We're working in all of those ways to bring the numbers down. The honourable member. How many people in Canada are being removed from the country right now? Do you have a number? The honourable minister. Thank you. I can say that that's a question for the Minister of Public Health, the honourable member. Another minister. In December, 400,000 people were waiting. That was December of last year. That's the equivalent of the city of Laval in Quebec. And you lost track of 30,000 of those referrals. How many are actually going to leave the country? The honourable minister. Once again, when it comes to people who leave, is a question for the Minister of Public Safety. But we work closely with our counterparts. Order.